According to South African newspaper The Daily Dispatch, ZOLANI TETE tested positive for a banned substance around the time of his fourth round knockout of Jason Cunningham on July the 2nd at the OVO Arena, Wembley in London. TETE's manager stated that TETE had arranged to have his B sample tested Tuesday. What you have to ask yourself, like, this was in July. And are they saying that they're waiting for the B sample for Tuesday tomorrow? We're in November. TETE is enrolled in the Voluntary Anti-Doping Association's clean boxing program, with subjects boxers ranked by the WBC to year-round testing. TETE is ranked 8th by the WBC at 122. He's also ranked 3 by the WBO and 6th by the IBF in the junior featherweight division. If the test results are upheld and he is suspended by the British Boxing Board of Control, the impressive knockout victory over Jason Cunningham will be changed to a no contest. Interestingly, TETE was a vocal advocate of stronger PED testing prior to his involvement in the World Boxing Super Series bantamweight tournament in 2018-2019. The British Boxing Board of Control could ban him up to at least 4 years, they're saying here. That's the maximum ban. TETE looked excellent against Cunningham. I thought this was a comeback. Waiting for the B sample, but that normally just confirms the A. SHAHUR Stevenson tweeted this. Because ZEPEDA is the one whooping people, he's the so-called boogeyman. So let's see what the hype's about. Somebody stupidly replied, simply risk versus reward. Why fight ZEPEDA when you could chase Jojo, who ZEPEDA just beat, Kambosos, who just lost, or Rowley, who just lost for more money? This is the problem with boxing fans. Is boxers can hide behind idiots like this. Total idiots. Bellends. Talking about risk-reward. He wants to fight the best and the money will look after itself. William ZEPEDA replied, don't mention me, send the contract, we'll be there. So that would take Golden Boy and Top Rank to get that over the line. Now, SHAHUR Stevenson is currently 19-0 with 9 knockouts. His super featherweight titles went vacant when he couldn't make the weight against Robson Conceição. So a fight with William ZEPEDA will be at 135. William ZEPEDA currently is 27-0 with 23 knockouts, coming off a career best win over Jojo Diaz, a unanimous decision where he broke CompuBox stats at lightweight for total punches thrown. 1,536 punches thrown. Now, Shaq is a great boxer, but this isn't Jamel Herring. This is a fresh, younger dude who is very fit, very strong. I don't think he punches as hard as his stats may suggest, but he hits hard. You saw the CompuBox stats. He has a lot of volume to deal with as well, and pressure. And it will be the toughest fight of Shaq's career. Tougher than Oscar Valdez or Conceição. I would love to see it. The WBC also ordered an eliminator between SHAHUR and Isaac Cruz. Cruz is ranked 2, Stevenson ranked 3, Lomachenko ranked number 1. Cruz's dad said they would prefer to fight Lomachenko. It's an easier fight. So now you're calling out Lomachenko. Are you the sanctioning body? Are you a pay-per-view star that you can call people out like that? They gave you an opportunity to fight for Undisputed, to get a mandate to fight for Undisputed. Now you're picking and choosing. It's a duck. SHAHUR replied, if the little puppy don't want to fight, let's get who's next in line. And that's where and when he started tweeting to call out William ZEPEDA, ranked number 4. Now, it looks like Lomachenko's going to fight Devin Haney next, so how about the WBC drop Isaac Cruz from number 2, preferably out the top 10, since he ain't about that smoke. Elevate ZEPEDA and SHAHUR, or maybe Top Rank and Golden Boy can work something out before it gets to a purse bid. Daniel Dubois takes on Kevin Lerana on the Tyson Fury Derek Chisora undercard. Kevin Lerana is 28-1, a South African. Apparently, according to Danny Flexen, he's a bit of a spoiler. I don't remember seeing him fight. Not a particularly big heavyweight or a big puncher. Like I said, I haven't really done a breakdown on what he does, but I haven't heard anybody talking about a potential upset or him giving Daniel any real issues, despite the impressive looking record. Dubois also revealed when he was a novice pro, he sparred Hughie Fury and dropped him. When Tyson Fury saw that, looks like he wanted to avenge family honor and he jumped in the ring. And Daniel said they sparred for a round and Tyson left it at that. Maybe he didn't want to get chinned himself. But seriously, we're a bit tired about hearing who Daniel's decked in sparring and how great he is in sparring. But yeah, he's not fighting top 10 opposition. He dropped AJ in sparring, he dropped Hughie, dropped Godzilla and King Kong. and on the Queensbury website. They're not listing Daniel as regular or interim. They're listing him as heavyweight champion. Let's see Daniel start facing some top 10 opposition and stop all the fake bullcrap. Came by this on Twitter, courtesy of Quinton D. Lilly. This right here is what the once famous middleweight division needs to return it to its former glory. So we have an opening round, which pits Lara versus Triple G, Andrade versus Munguia, Johnny Beck versus Eubank, and Adames versus Charlo. Then there's obviously a quarterfinal, semi-final, and final. Look how simplistic that is, and can be easily completed within a year and a half. I wonder how that tournament would play out. Be very interesting. Who would your favourites be? A lot of people don't get it. A lot of people who follow this channel, we got it a long time ago. A lot of people wonder why there was such bad blood between Anthony Joshua and Dillian Whyte. But yet, after Joshua beat him, Joshua went on to put him on undercards on his events. Did Joshua do it because he had this newfound respect for Dillian and all this? Maybe. He understood that on his rise to becoming a pay-per-view draw, he had the perfect opponent. People don't like Dillian. Some people like Dillian. Say what you like. When Dillian's in town, apart from the Fury fight where he was unusually subdued, almost muted, Dillian makes you want to watch his fight. Dillian makes you want to see his fight. Doesn't matter if you want to see him get his clock cleaned or if you want to see him win. He makes you want to purchase pay-per-view. He makes you want to buy a subscription. He makes you want to get a ticket. It was around 550,000 pay-per-view buys for a British title between Dillian and Anthony Joshua. And you have to give Dillian his due for selling it all the way through. Even before, on a card previously where AJ knocked out Gary Cornish and Dillian was on the undercard. Dillian was selling the fight from there. The face-off was filmed in black and white, I guess to give it an edgy aesthetic. It's alright. Now, Jermaine has been talking a lot about knocking Dillian out. But in the face-off, he was talking about points or knockout. And Dillian was saying, you've already said you're going to knock me out. Why are you changing up when we're face-to-face? Dillian threatened to punch his dreads off his head. Took a little jab at his Schlesinger tracksuit. Jermaine said he's not intimidated. Dillian said, if I wanted to intimidate you, I'd wait for you outside. You'd see what intimidation's all about. And then it got into hood talk. Jermaine said, you're from a rough hood, I'm from a rough hood. None of that intimidates me. Crowd don't intimidate me. But Dillian let him know, you're in London. And you're going to hear London in the building. Dillian, he didn't play with his prediction. He said he's going to knock Jermaine out. The weigh-in could be a little colourful as well. So we look forward to that and the fight. Looks like Stanionis, who stood down to let Spence take the unification against Unigas, is going to do it again. The WBC have gave the green light for Spence to fight Keith Thurman. Boots Ennis' dad petitioned to the IBF to mandate his son to get his shot. IBF are not complying, so Spence is going to fight Keith Thurman after saying he's not going to fight Keith Thurman for years because Thurman dodged him back in 2014 when Floyd offered to free up one of his straps and let them fight on his undercard, and Keith wasn't down with that. You know my opinion on the Crawford situation. Crawford already asked the IBF to mandate him to fight Errol Spence. They didn't do that. They ignored Boots' dad to mandate Ennis to fight Spence, and I have no proof that Errol's being protected, but I have my suspicions. Whether he's ducking Boots or Crawford, let's deal with what is. Spence should stop Keith Thurman. He should stop him, or he's in decline if he doesn't stop Keith. Because Keith hasn't done anything in the last 5 years or so. Hasn't really done anything. That period between the Danny Garcia fight and the Jose Cito Lopez fight ruined his career. So anyone who thinks that Keith Thurman in 2022 is definitely a tougher fight than David Avanesian hasn't been following what's happening in world boxing, not American boxing, world boxing. Keith has a better resume, but in 2022, David Avanesian is the better welterweight. David's more active. David's going in other people's backyards and smashing their best fighters' unbeaten records. Tell me when Keith's done something like that recently. Didn't look good against Jose Cito Lopez. Lost to Pacquiao. Could only get a points win over Barrios, who the 135-pound tank, moving up to 140, knocked out. The jig was up when Floyd took that DAZN money to fight Deji just a couple of weeks back. The jig was up then, really. How are you going to promote Tank on Showtime, but yet you're there blowing up DAZN, fighting Deji in an exhibition, lining your pockets? Now, if you had bought Tank to come through on the undercard, then you could say, yeah, he's making sure Tank gets some of that DAZN bread and he's still looking after him. And when you saw Tom Brown, promoter on the paperwork for the Hector Garcia fight, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's a wrap, you know. So it looks like Tank is a free agent as of now. Hopefully he hasn't signed to Tom Brown. And if he has, let's hope Tom Brown does a better job than Ellaby and Floyd. Seeing Tank kept out of the mix from the fights we wanted to see him in at 135 was not an enjoyable experience. Tank looked up to Floyd. That's why he would tweet things about Floyd and take them down, because there was a certain respect he had for Floyd. But when he tweeted about his mum overhearing Leonard say, or his uncles who started him in boxing overheard Leonard say, Rolly's going to knock Tank out, we knew it was a wrap then. Now looking at the BoxRec paperwork, Tank seems to be free from Ellaby and Floyd. But is he free from the restrictive practices from the PVC? There's still a tune-up to go. A tune-up they're putting on pay-per-view. There's still a court case to go. Him and Ryan still have to sign before that fight is official. Now some say the glass half full is positive. I say glass half empty, skeptical, but still remain proactive, one step at a time. Tank is now out of the clutches of Leonard and Floyd. The terms have been agreed to the Ryan Garcia fight. Let's hope he's on the right trajectory. MARVNATION bid a whopping 2.4 over the second place bid of 1.2 from TGB Promotions. MARVNATION, like TGB, do not promote either boxer, ZEPEDA or PROGRAIS. Probellum, which is PROGRAIS's promoter, bid 1.06. And Zanfa Promotions, who promotes ZEPEDA, 1.004. So the promoters of the two fighters actually bid the least. I'm guessing Zanfa Promotions have some co-promotional deal with Top Rank and ESPN, because ZEPEDA fights on Top Rank cards. Top Rank didn't make a bid, or maybe they did through Zanfa. The funniest thing was, Richard Schaefer said they must have a broadcasting platform which validates their bid, talking about MARVNATION. Well, they're putting it on the fight streaming platform, an unproven platform, in all truth. And because they bid so much money, 2.4, they're charging America $69.99. You can also get it in the UK, 4 or 5 a.m. in the morning. Good luck with that. It's also available to Canada and Australia. Good luck with them markets as well. It'll probably tank, but at least Regis and Jose get paid. Takes place at the Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson, California, home of the LA Galaxy. The arena can hold up to 27,000 people. Yocasta Valle versus Evelyn Bermudez fight for the WBC and WBO junior flyweight titles. That's the ladies. Charles Conwell versus Juan Carlos Abreu. Bakadir Jalaloff versus Curtis Harper. Fernando Vargas Jr. versus Alexandro Martinez. And that's the card. I haven't seen no face-off, no real promotion online. I don't think they have a YouTube channel, MARVNATION, so they won't be showing any of the preliminary fights beforehand to at least warm the appetite perhaps of potential late pay-per-view purchasers. Shoulder programming, non-existent. What are you doing? Cepeda, injury loss to Terry Flanagan, tight decision loss to Jose Carlos Ramirez, a former unified champion. No shame in that. Didn't look that great in the Hank Lundy fight, but that's because he basically fought, or he fights, Hank Lundy's style. He's not an archetype Mexican fighter, Cepeda. He likes doing that shell, hands low, countering. He's got a long reach, well, longer than Regis Prograis. And Hank found it easy fighting that style because he's been fighting or boxing that style since he was a kid. And Cepeda won a wide decision, but it wasn't the one-sided beatdown everyone expected. Prograis has more natural power at 140 than Hank Lundy, who came up from 135. Now, Prograis, good body puncher, southpaw, just like his opponent. He can box, he can counter, he can punch. He's a little unorthodox, doesn't waste much punches, good at setting up his combinations. This is a hard one to pick, people. I think Regis may be a bit more consistent. I think ZEPEDA needs to use his jab and make that 3-inch reach count. Don't let Regis get up too close. Regis likes to slip his opponent's shots and then come back with them hard counters. And I think a slight edge may go to Regis, but it really is a pick and fight, 50-50. Regis if you push me. Sometimes Regis's footwork is a little all over the place, but he's unorthodox. A lot of times he gets away with it. Can ZEPEDA do anything with that? We shall see. Looking forward to it when I get a copy, because I'm not paying 60 or whatever they're going to charge in the UK, 4 a.m.